President William Samoei Arap Ruto is crafting an elaborate strategy to consolidate his support base in Mount Kenya region ahead of 2027 general election. William Ruto is worried that the mountain might actually rebel against his leadership the way they did to President Uhuru Kenyatta. And even as William Ruto is worried, Kenyans are still asking themselves two main questions. The first question which majority of Kenyans are still asking, and they are yet to get answer to, is how William Ruto managed to outwit former President Uhuru Kenyatta in Mount Kenya. Because let's face it, Uhuru Kenyatta was the President of the Republic of Kenya. Uhuru Kenyatta was voted for by the mountain 3 times. In 2013, they voted for him. In 2017, twice. Uhuru Kenyatta had the deep state. Uhuru Kenyatta had everything. But still, the mountain left him and voted for William Samoei Arap Ruto. How Ruto managed that is something which Kenyans will not be able to understand as at now. The second question which most Kenyans are asking is whether William Ruto will manage to sustain the support in Mount Kenya beyond 2022 general election. And that's why William Ruto is worried and is crafting an elaborate strategy ahead of 2027 general election. In this video, I want to explain to you guys, based on what I've observed, William Ruto's latest strategy to consolidate the mountain. Before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us get back to the main issue. Do you think William Ruto will manage to sustain the support of the mountain? That is the question which most Kenyans are asking. The expectation of the voters of the mountain was so high, and they placed it on the shoulders of William Samoei Arap Ruto. Will the weight be so heavy for William Ruto to carry? And will William Ruto manage to accomplish the expectations of the voters of the mountain? Already, from what I'm gathering, the mountain is restive. And the other day, they were asking Uhuru Kenyatta to come to their aid. The other day, they were asking Raila Odinga to come to their aid. Because the cost of living is high, the lies they were told can no longer be sustained, and there is nothing good so far out of Kenya Kwanza government. So the mountain is restive. But what is William Ruto's strategy to ensure that in 2027, the mountain will still vote for him? Because the truth is, without the mountain, William Ruto is nothing. And if Uhuru Kenyatta had managed to lock out William Ruto out of mountain, I don't think William Ruto would have managed even half of the votes he got. Because that mountain is what actually gave him the momentum to push up to the level he reached. Now, let me tell you the strategies which William Ruto is using. Before we do that, in case you are watching the channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now, probably you might have also noticed something with William Ruto. He has clearly developed a new strategy. The strategy is charm offensive on Raila Odinga's stronghold, Ukambani, Luo Nyanza coastal region. Then his second strategy is to try and ensure that nobody will emerge from the mountain. So he has developed certain strategies. The first strategy William Ruto has developed in the mountain is what is called checkmate. If I may ask you today, who is the leader of the mountain? Who is their leader? When you talk of Kalenjins, they have their leader who is Ruto. When you talk of the Luos, they have their leader who is Raila. When you talk of coastal region, you can talk of Joho and you can talk of Amason King. When you go to Kisii, at least someone you can talk of is there. If you go to Western, you can talk of Weta, you can talk of Mudavadi. You go to Kampani, Kalonzo Musyoka is there. Who is the leader of the mountain? That is one of the strategy which William Ruto is using. William Ruto has ensured that nobody is actually emerging as a leader in the mountain. He has created what is called checkmate. And let me explain to you how he has cleverly done that. You go to Kiambu County, the home county to former President Uhuru Kenyatta. In Kiambu County, William Ruto has elevated Kimani Ichung'wah to the position of majority leader. That's a serious position. That's a position which would have automatically made him the leader from that region. Then he went further and elevated Moses Kuria to the position of cabinet secretary. So which means when you talk of Kiambu, we will have two people. We'll have Kimani Ichung'wah, the majority leader, and we'll have Moses Kuria, the cabinet secretary. So which means in case one of these guys will try to rebel against Ruto, the other one will emerge. So that's a strategy which he has used. You go to Murang'a, Ndindi Nyoro and Alice Wahome. Alice Wahome has been made a cabinet secretary. Ndindi Nyoro has been made chair of the budget committee in the National Assembly. Another powerful position. And despite that, Ndindi Nyoro has also been made inside to be one of the kitchen cabinet of William Ruto. So which means between these two guys, they'll be competing for William Ruto's attention. And if one will not get the attention, he cannot rebel. If he will rebel, then William Ruto will simply elevate the other. You go to Meru, for example. In Meru, or you can talk of Mount Kenya East, we have the cabinet secretary for interior, Professor Kithure Kindiki. Then he has given Meru another cabinet secretary for agriculture. So we have those two guys, very powerful ministries. So which means one of them cannot go against Ruto. Then you go further, their role will be to checkmate Peter Munya, and in case any of them will try to rebel, because fallout you can't rule out in politics, the other will be elevated. You go down there in Kirinyaga. Kirinyaga, there is Anne Waiguru. Anne Waiguru is the governor for Kirinyaga, second-term governor for that matter. Anne Waiguru is now the chair of the Council of Governors, which means she'll be very powerful. But at whose expense? Can she run for the presidency? Can she be groomed? That cannot happen because already William Ruto has a deputy president who is Rigathi Gachagua. So through that checkmating, William Ruto is ensuring that in Mount Kenya, we have leaders who have emerged, but none is above the other. And that's a good strategy for him. So that's number one. Number two, in fact, even at the coastal region, that is what he has done. He has elevated Amason Kingi. He has elevated Salim Vuria and Aisha Jumwa. So all those people, any of them can claim to be the main person there. So that's number two is the running mate equation. William Ruto has gifted the mountain with a running mate in the name of Rigathi Gachagua. The expectation is that Rigathi Gachagua will take over from William Ruto in that Kalenjin, Kikuyu, Kalenjin political dominance in the country. But will Kenyans accept that? After 10 years, I don't think Rigathi Gachagua will be able. Nowadays, I don't rule out any possibility, but I don't think Rigathi Gachagua is that ambitious to win the support outside Mount Kenya. And because William Ruto understands that, he's making Rigathi Gachagua his second in command, so that nobody will be going beyond Rigathi Gachagua, in my view. So that's number Number 2. Number 3, in my view, is that William Ruto has ensured that new crop of leaders are emerging or have emerged from the mountain. The ones who were there previously, who had the potential, have been swallowed. William Kabogo swallowed, Peter Munya swallowed, Martha Karua, I think, swallowed, Peter Kenneth swallowed. Now, amongst these emerging leaders, who is ambitious enough to challenge William Ruto in 2027? Even if the mountain will rebel? None. And for me, that's a very good strategy for Ruto. For example, if Ruto had allowed Kabogo to be governor for Kiambu, Kabogo with power and the kind of attitude and the kind of politics he plays, William Ruto was not going to tame him. William Ruto would have simply given Kabogo the chance to run for the presidency in 2027. And in case the mountain were to rebel against William Ruto, Kabogo might have succeeded. But he ensured that only new leaders emerged, and none of them can actually stand on his throne without William Ruto. If Alice Wahome were to make noise tomorrow, after 2 years, he will simply be removed from the cabinet. Moses Kuria will simply be removed from cabinet. That day you saw how Moses Kuria was singing the song, "Oh, I want to merge my party and join UDA." So William Ruto is creating new leaders, and the motive of these new leaders is simply to prevent those with ambitions from rising. Number 4, in my view, is UDA party. William Ruto has a vision of having a major political party called UDA. In fact, he's asking the likes of Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula, Alfred Mutua. Moses Kuri is already agreed to merge his parties. He's asking all these political parties to merge and form one political party. And he's not talking of a new political party. He's talking of UDA as a political party. So as long as all these people will be serving UDA, will be serving William Ruto, the only party they'll be talking about is the party of United Democratic Alliance Party. And just like that, William Ruto has ensured that as things stand today, no major political party has emerged. Remember, during Kibaki era, there were several other political parties which managed to win, to get through. During Jubilee, the same. But in the last election, Mount Kenya is almost UDA zone. And now he's telling them that let us fold all these other parties and have one major political party. As long as that one political party will still be under William Ruto, no political party is going to emerge in the mountain. That is his calculation. And lastly, I also tend to think that William Ruto has now created regional kingpins, especially for the mountain. Regional in terms of almost per county. You go to Tharaka Nithi, automatically Professor Kithure Kindiki. You go to Meru, he has Mithika Linturi. You go to mountain per county. You go to Kiambu, you go to Meru. He's creating these regional kingpins so that none of them will be thinking beyond their regions. I don't know what you think. That's my take. And for me, that's genius if he's going to maintain it. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.